Well, keep playing that. I want Greg to hear that. This is about us. This song's about us. We're a couple of old troubadours. Welcome to the show we call The Business of Life. That's George Strait, and The Troubadour is one of my favorite songs.
Love that song.
Yeah. So that's my partner today. That is the head women's basketball coach and the coach of the year, Gregory B. Herrick. What's the B stand for?
You don't want to know, but for our purposes, it'll be Brian.
Bruce or Brian. And if Herrick rings a bell, his son was all state, all everything for years right out of Hart High School. So I'm so honored to have you sitting next to me here.
Valencia. Don't ever say a kid from Valencia went to Hart.
Was it Valencia?
Cardinals.
That's like
already.
That's like I'm an angel from hell.
All right, stop it.
Can't believe
Stop it. Hey, I'm dedicating the show today to one of the most beautiful young ladies I've ever met. She's a singer. I'll tell you, I'm going to have her on probably a couple weeks. Going to have her come in, do some singing. So big shout out to you, Tara. You are just gorgeous and so nice. And she has great communication skills. And she was an athlete. Wow. She was a high jumper and a track star.
What's she doing now?
I can't tell you for security reasons.
You may have to kill me.
I can't tell you for security reasons what she's doing now. So the show is called The Business Life. We're going to talk, last week we talked about life, right? Justin, say hi, everybody. Everybody loves you.
How's it going?
That's Justin.
What's up, everyone?
That's my producer, Smart. So you've been waiting for this show, sports show, right?
Absolutely.
So let's get into it. So the first segment is called The Next Guy. So you and I are about the same age. We have lived a wonderful life, a blessed life. We've seen some of the greatest athletes in the last 50 years come through. We've seen some of the greatest coaches. Let me just throw out some names. Tiger Woods. We'll never see the likes of him in our lifetime. A guy like this transcended business, life, sports, and he brought, you may not like this, but he brought an awareness to the game like Donald Trump's bringing awareness to politics. So he's amazing. John Wooden. I read all his books, Pyramid of Success. Was he one of your heroes?
No, not really. And I'll tell you a story about that. I was a basketball player in high school coming out of Oakland, California, and I was pretty good. And we were watching UCLA play one time on television, like they were on every, with Abdul-Jabbar. He was Lou Alcindor then. And I turned to my father and I said, I don't think I could play for Wooden. And he looked at me and he goes, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it. So from then on, it was probably never a possibility that I was going to be playing. But I played at Pauley Pavilion eventually. I went to Loyola Marymount.
Oh, great school, LMU.
Yeah, we played at UCLA, so I got to see Wooden in action right up close. But he wasn't one of my guys. Jerry Tarkanian was my mentor as a young coach, the Running Rebels.
Shout out to the Rebels.
I spent
Who do you remember Wooden's assistant?
Oh, he had a lot of them.
When he was winning all the 10 championships. Do you remember who his assistant was?
Yeah, well, yeah, Denny Crum.
So Denny Crum was my basketball coach at Pierce College.
Right.
Yeah. And Denny went on to become the coach at Louisville and a multimillionaire. He's got like a 100-acre spread.
Horse ranch.
Very wealthy, very. And Denny.
I think everybody in Kentucky is rich. Because when I went there, that's all I saw was horse farms and
money.
I got the pet secretariat, maybe the greatest horse ever.
Which hand did you use?
My right hand.
Touch me here.
And
I love that movie. Did you see the movie?
And I tell you, when I petted Secretariat,
the
damn horse looked at me right. I swear to God, I'll never forget it. It looked me right in the eye, and it was like, "Do you know who I am? I'm the." I'm the SHIT. And I'll never forget it.
Wait a second, you can't say it on the air.
Well, I didn't say it. I spelled it.
You can't even spell it. Okay. You're listening to
I didn't spell it.
Okay, you're going to get me fired. KHTS, you're listening to KHTS 1220 AM. If you want to call in, the number is 298-5487. Talk to the real coach, 298-5487. He's coach of the year. His team is going to the playoffs, 20-4. I mean,
23 and 5.
Oh, 23 and 5.
17 game winning streak we had during the year.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that was very.
All right, let's get back to the next guy. So, and quit your spelling too.
All right,
stop
I'll
it.
cut out the spelling.
Just stop it. So
you made me feel too comfortable.
Coach Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
We may not see
I'm
the
not a
likes
big fan of him.
Really?
No, I don't like him. He's too arrogant.
You're pretty particular.
Yeah. He's too arrogant.
How about Shefsky? Mike
Krzyzewski, I like him.
Krzyzewski.
I like him. But I'm going to tell you why you will never see that again.
Which one? Belichick?
No, we'll never see a guy like you're saying, like Wooden or.
Oh yeah.
Because of the way society is now. The one and done basketball player.
Yeah.
The free agency in professional sports.
Sickening.
Yeah.
These players, I just saw, we'll talk about probably the second segment in Block C. These guys are jumping ship for another $5 million, and I don't know if I blame them. I'm not in their shoes. I don't know. I would jump ship if somebody offered me $5 million more to leave KHTS. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Well, it's like I talked to this.
Maybe not.
I talked to a kid last night in my class about this, about like the Golden State Warriors. They got a great group of players, but in another
they may have one more coming up too.
Well, in another year, they're going to probably lose Harrison Barnes because somebody else is going to pay him more money than the Warriors want to pay him. That's the way professional sports is going. Why would I want to work for you, for half the money that somebody over here is going to pay me? I mean, it doesn't. Everybody out there understands about the value of money.
Now we root for players, not teams. Right. I'm a big LeBron fan, so I root for LeBron. I don't care where LeBron would go. I wish he would come to the Lakers, but he's not.
That's a possibility.
It could, yeah.
That's the only way that the Lakers are going to revive the organization is if they keep the three guys they have now, Randall and the two guards, and they get a superstar.
Randall's a player.
Maybe they get Durant. Maybe they get LeBron. That's the only way it's going to change, or they're going to just be horrible.
Durant's going to the Golden Warriors.
He
wants a ring.
I don't think that would. I'm a fan of the Warriors. I grew up in Oakland. I'm a big fan. I don't think that. I think that would mess up their chemistry.
You grew up in Oakland.
Yes, I did.
That's another show. I'm going to have you back to talk about that.
Hey, born and raised.
All right. So the next guy. So what do you think when you look at great talent? When you look at the John Woodens or the Krzyzewskis, or you think Joe Torre? I like Joe Torre. I liked him as the Dodger manager. A lot of World Series at the Yankees. LeBron James. Here's another guy. Here's another guy. Leaves high school, 17. I mean, he's a superstar.
Freak of nature.
Yeah.
You won't ever see anybody like him come out of high school.
He was a man-child.
Yeah. It wasn't even close.
So let's talk about this freak of nature thing. So what is the ingredient? Do you think that
DNA?
Yeah.
There I go spelling again.
Yeah. No.
DNA.
Yeah. So God puts something in your DNA. Now, in my case, when he said brains, I thought he said trains.
Right.
So I got confused.
Yes.
So I didn't get much DNA that way, But what do you make of the sign? Trains. I can say trains.
Okay.
Trains are okay.
I didn't get where you were going, but I get it.
But so every once in a while, somebody really gets blessed. That's really what it comes down to, a coach, doesn't it?
Well, you're absolutely right. And you referenced my son, who was a 3-time All-American in high school and played the quarterback position as well as anybody.
All state, all everything.
It's probably been played in this area, or
He went to Valencia High, not Hart.
Right.
Valencia.
And people would always ask me, "What is it about him that makes him special?" And I used to say, well, one. The DNA of being being the son of a coach.
Yeah.
He's been around preparation and around planning and practicing.
You probably did the same thing with your son that I did mine. He didn't know from television. If it was basketball, get in the car, we're going to go shoot hoops. Baseball, I'm going to hit 1,000 ground balls. Football, whatever. Right. He never had a chance, just probably like Mike.
Well, but people said, did you? I go, he watched more film than the coaches.
Yeah.
I believe that because I saw him doing it.
What's he doing now, Michael?
He's a police officer for the Santa Barbara City Police.
No kidding. God bless you, Michael.
Yeah. And anyway, but I tell people all that.
You tell him you're on the air. You should text him and have him call in.
All that said, the thing that separated him from all the other people?
Yeah.
He had a gift. God blessed him with a gift.
Yeah, something.
He had a gift to play quarterback. He was a great baseball player. He could shoot baskets. But God granted him the right to be able to read defenses and make decisions quickly. And one time I watched a game with him, a college game, and the guy throws the ball in the dirt, and he goes, "Dad, it's not that hard." And I'm going, what are you talking about? He goes, hey, you come up to the line, you make your read, you call the play, you go through your progressions, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you throw it to the guy that's open. And, to him, it was easy. To the rest of us, it would be difficult. So, going back to what you were saying, I think it's these people. God blessed LeBron with a body that would. I mean, that just doesn't happen. When I first saw him, I go, "How old is that guy? About 30?"
LeBron now?
Yeah, no, when he was in high
17,
school.
Yeah.
I go, it just doesn't happen.
That's the voice of Gregory B. Herrick. He will not give us his middle name, and I will investigate. And next week, I'll tell you, he's the head women's basketball. I want to talk about coaching ladies versus men. Text Michael. Tell him to download this app. Listen, he can listen.
He's working right now.
I don't care. He's got an iPhone or Droid in the police car, and he can listen. Just download KHTS in the App Store. All our buddies have done it.
Oh, you're going way over my head.
All right, so our show's brought to you by Cocktails and Concoctions.
Well, make sure you say that correct.
Yeah, Tammy Butler, my dear friend, owns Cocktails. When we have a party, she's our bartender. You ever have parties?
No.
Really?
No
parties?
I go to them. Oh, but I don't. We never host anybody.
We have parties. Cocktails and Concoctions. If I give you the phone number, you're not going to write it down. Just remember Tammy Butler and call me. Call me if you want her phone.
I know who she is, by the way.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
all right.
Met her before.
Yeah, that's right. She knows you. The other thing too, if your computer's broken, call me. If your computer's broken, I have somebody that can fix your. I get asked all the time, Coach, anybody can fix my computer?
Don't you know everybody?
I know everybody. You know more people than I do.
Well,
call me.
Only because I've been in the area a little longer.
If you need just go to Coach Tunick. TUNICK.com. So my very special guest all day today is Gregory B. Herrick, head women's basketball coach. So coaching.
By the way, nobody's called me Gregory since Sister Anisha in third grade.
So coach, stay with me, stay focused.
I got you.
So you've coached your son, you've coached young men. What is the difference between coaching men, women? What is the difference between coaching young men and young women?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I'm writing a book on that very subject called Man Coaches Women. It's about
that'll sell.
It's about my 24 years of being a women's coach when I was a boys coach for about 15 years before that. So people would always come up to me and ask me the question that you're asking me, what's the difference? And there's a lot of differences. So I decided to put it down. I'm about 75% done.
That book will sell, actually.
Yeah, the publisher said the title would be enough just to get
What's the title?
Man Coaches Women. Because people get it and they think it's something not even having to do with sports.
Well, first of all, you can't go in the locker room, right?
No, and I don't. I have a woman assistant coach.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Kelly. Yeah, Kelly Lewis.
Justin, he's aging.
No, you know what's funny?
I know her name.
I was a teacher for 37 years, so you can imagine the number of students that I've had, and people come up to you and go, "You remember me? 30 years ago."
Is Kelly listening to you right now? Does she know you're on radio?
Probably.
Have you told anybody?
She's listening to you.
Yeah.
She's not listening to me.
Kelly Lewis, how are you, my dear? So, coaching young ladies, you have to tell me, your language, everything has to be different, right?
Well, to start, the thing that I learned over the long haul was that they're way more emotional. Things that they take as an insult. You got to be real careful because there's people out there that think if you make a distinction that it's sexist, and it's not really. I mean, when I coach guys, they wouldn't care what number they had. They wouldn't care. I'll tell you, chapter 3 in my book is called The Shoes, and I have an endorsement arrangement with Nike shoes, and they. When I got the guys their free shoes, they'd come in and take their shoes and say, "Thanks, coach, for," And then when I started doing it with women, I'd give them the shoes. They'd come back within 5 minutes, all of them. "Do you have this in a 6?" And I go, "You ordered a 5.5." And I know, but that was in a Reebok. And Nike is more narrow than. And I go, "Narrow? I've never heard a guy ever use that word, narrow. So there's a
That's
difference.
hilarious. So you're getting a check from Nike. Wow.
Well,
that's big.
I'm not. I'm just getting product.
Something.
I'm getting product.
Yeah, at 100.
Like these shoes I'm wearing.
Yeah, at 100.
These Kobe Bryants that I got on.
Oh, yeah, those are 100 something. Yeah,
Easily.
You're rolling big. So
But you got to keep winning, Coach, to get
23-5 is a great record.
One time, a friend of mine. You remember Orlando Cepeda?
Of course.
Well, he was a famous baseball player.
San Francisco Giants,
Cardinals,
right fielder,
MVP,
first base. Awkward.
Yeah, and his son, the baby bull, they used to call him. Well, his son was a salesman for Nike, and he told me one time that they had a meeting to restructure the company, and they were going through all their arrangements, and my name came up, and the guy put his head up and he said, "Greg Herrick, are we paying him?" And the guy goes, "No, just product." And he goes, "Good, we can't be paying." So you know where you stand.
No, but big Division I coaches probably get an envelope, right?
Yeah,
They do.
No, now it's a lot of times schools. The whole athletic, everybody's getting a ticket.
Everybody's getting an envelope.
Like Adidas is UCLA is Adidas.
Yeah. Turn your cell phone off, Coach, when you're on the radio. I want to do
My
that.
cell phone is off.
Yeah, I'm turning my cell phone off. And Justin, that's a good look. People can't see you, but that's a good look, man.
He looks like a movie star.
He does. My producer's very handsome.
We call him Denzel.
Everything good with Holly? Everything is still with Holly? Does she listen to the show? No, that's really sad. 298-5487 if you want to talk to the coach. 298-5487. And I'm not charging today. Normally we charge $500 per phone call, but I'm waiving the $500.
That's because that's the kind of person you are.
I really am. Download the app, though. Go to the App Store and download KHTS 1220 AM. That's how you can listen to the coach on radio. All right, so coaching women is really that much different. That's interesting.
It's a lot different.
Do they cry? So let me ask you a question. He's shaking his head up and down.
I just had one yesterday. That's why I said it. We have a player.
How do you? Well, you can't console them, but Kelly probably consoles them. Right?
Well, we have a player from Hawaii. And it's hard. She came out here. Her parents are back in the islands. She's homesick first time. Everybody. My son got homesick.
How tall is she?
Little.
About
5'4", but
okay.
my son was homesick at Ole Miss when he went there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I was homesick when I went from the Bay Area to Loyola Marymount.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you're away from your power base, so to speak. So anyway, yesterday we were practicing over something, and we had a breakdown in the previous game, and I said, okay, let's do this to see what happened.
Yeah.
And she was the one that was in the wrong position.
Right.
So I said, look, there you go. You were the one that was in the wrong. That's why it didn't work.
And
then she started crying.
I want my mommy.
And I'm going, why? I try to steer away from it, but then after I go to my assistant, I go, why is Kelly? Why is she crying? Well, because her mom and dad had visited, and they just had left the day before, and she was feeling.
Yeah.
Now, guys wouldn't do that.
Are you a mean coach, Coach Harris?
I'm disciplined.
You are?
I'm
Good.
all about discipline.
We're going to talk about discipline in the next segment, so save that. So now you go down to San Diego, Palomar, and Friday?
Not very happy about it. But
no, I know you're not. Now, do you go on a bus or you take cars?
Bus,
big yellow bus?
No.
A comfy bus?
No, I'm not going in the bus if it's a yellow school bus.
No, it's a comfy bus.
My kidneys are shot from all the high school trips I made in those yellow buses.
Yeah. So it's a big comfy bus.
Hopefully.
Now, will you smoke and drink on the bus going down there?
No, it's not a party bus. It's not the Gronk weekend bus.
Maybe,
although it ought to be.
No, Justin, jump in on this because maybe coaching needs to change. Maybe when
that'll inspire discipline. Definitely.
No, but I'm saying if kids are, he knows this. Kids get so uptight, especially the bigger the game. If they haven't been to the party before, people just get so tight. It's called the fog of war or game fog.
I get it.
And let's loosen them up.
Well, they.
Now, will you give them a pep talk prior to the game?
Yeah.
Now, do you make it up on the spot or do you plan it? Do you have one planned?
Depends on when it is. If it's a pre-game.
Can I give you one? Go hard and go home? Go hard or go home?
That's been done.
Okay.
That one's been done before.
You're listening to KHTS 1220 AM here in Southern California. Coach Greg Herrick, the head women's basketball coach, also coach of the year. You don't get that unless either you paid money for it or your fellow coaches really respect you.
Well,
which one happened?
well,
did you pay for it, or did they respect you?
It just happened on Sunday, actually, and it's a funny story. We're not very well liked in the conference because we win most
all
of the time.
Yeah.
And the other coaches just, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to get beat all the time either. And when I took the job 24 years ago, we got beat. When I inherited what was there, and I turned to my assistant and I said, look, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my career. You better go out and get us some players, or I'm going to get somebody in here.
You have to recruit?
Oh, yeah.
So you go to the high schools?
That's the only way you win.
You go to the high schools?
Now, this year on our team, we happen to have 2 players from local schools that are really good.
Okay.
But that doesn't always
What's your tallest lady?
2'6". The 2 that I'm talking about are 6 feet tall.
He's got twin towers.
Twin towers.
That's it? 6 feet is you call tall?
Yeah, that's about 6'5" for women, for men.
They're dominant
in
the interior.
The one of them blocks, has blocked 13, 14, 15 shots in a game.
Would you like an assistant?
All-time leader in single season?
For us?
You got that record?
Yeah, and we thought it might be the record for the state, and we called the state, and they go, well, we haven't kept that statistic because it's really subjective. And I go, what do you mean? Somebody either gets a piece of it or they don't.
Yeah.
And they go, well, we just don't keep. So, we assume it is.
Can any of them dunk?
No, I've never had.
No. Now,
they weren't impressed when I told them that I could dunk a tennis ball when I was 18.
Yeah, me too. So, are you in a suit? Are you all dressed up? No,
and it all depends.
24 years, that's a long time, and you still have enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's passion.
We have to take a break. We're going to come back. We're talking about sports today with the Coach of the Year, Mr. Greg Herrick from a wonderful school, College of the Canyons. We'll be right back on the show we call The Business of Life.